journal like how I feel, what my goals are, how I'm gonna reach them, and I just like focus on that. Like before state last year, the coolest thing, like right now my goal is state champ 2023. It like came true. It was crazy.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Wrestle Her podcast. I am your host, Jessica Brenton, and today I am joined by Josie Houk, who is a Wyoming girls wrestling high school state champion at 155 pounds. So thank you so much for being here, Josie. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Good. So you're in town specifically for a wrestling camp here in town, the Wyoming Amateur Wrestling Association Women's Wrestling Camp. So how's camp been going for you so far?
It's been going good. It's hard, but it's fun.
Okay. What are the hard things about it?
That hill.
That hill run. That was a rough one, huh?
Mhm.
Yes, that event center hill is brutal. I'm sorry that I made you do that. What are the fun things that have been happening at camp?
All the games. I love the games.
Yes.
Fun way to warm up.
Yes. What has your favorite part been?
Probably slapback.
Slapback?
Yeah.
Did you get some 5 stars from that one?
I did not, but I 5-starred.
You gave some?
Yeah.
So after this camp is done, the little girls go home. We have our wrestling banquet and have a dinner with all the parents. And then the next day we have another camp getting ready for Fargo, which is high school nationals. How do you feel going into Fargo?
I'm a little nervous because last year did not go great.
Okay.
But I'm like, I want to change how it went there and just, I don't know, do good.
Yeah. Do you feel more prepared this year?
I was so much more prepared.
And why is that?
Okay, so last year, since I was cutting so much weight, mainly because wrestling guys, and I just tried to stay down there, I wasn't cutting smart, so I just wouldn't eat for like 2 weeks at a time. It was not good.
So you feel healthier this time going in?
Yeah, so much more healthier.
Have you been training more this summer too? Or is it?
I definitely trained more last year.
You did train more last year? Okay. So going into this, just keeping a positive mindset. It is a big national tournament, but you've been to a lot of big national tournaments before. So what other national tournaments have you been to this year?
Iowa and Disney World.
How do you think you did in Iowa and Disney duels?
Okay, so I wrestled good, but whenever I wrestle someone who's good, I like just get in my head, and it's like probably could have fought a little harder there. Probably could have done more, but I just get in my head and just kind of like get thrown around.
Yeah. During the match?
Okay. I did that in Iowa for sure. And then Disney, I just kind of like rolled over.
I mean, I thought you wrestled really good in Disney. You were kicking butt the first couple days of wrestling. It was a lot of wrestling. I mean, we had 10 duels, and I mean, you were doing super good the first couple days, and it's 3 days of wrestling, and you know, we were there for a week. I thought the wrestling was really fun, and I think the team kind of rallied behind each other a lot more towards the second and third day. For sure. The first day everybody was a little nervous and didn't know what to expect, and we had a lot of new wrestlers on the team, so I was glad to have you there because you'd been to dual settings before and you're older and have been wrestling for a longer time than a lot of those girls that were there. So I was glad to have you as there as, you know, one of our captains and leading the team. So you've wrestled duels and you've wrestled individual tournaments. What are your favorite to wrestle in?
I love duels. I love like watching my teammates, cheering for them, and I love when they watch me and they all cheer. We all know how each other did.
Yeah.
We don't have to ask. And
right. And everybody's involved and everybody's going crazy on the sidelines. And I love our new little pony that we got. Yeah. So when we get a pin, we have this little stick horse that's pink and neighs. And if you get a pin, you get to ride the horse down the sidelines. And I kind of think it makes a lot of some of the people mad, honestly, on the other teams. But that's honestly my favorite part. Yeah. It's fun to watch, and it's cool to say, you know, get on the horse. So I thought that was really fun. Did you enjoy the outside of wrestling aspect in Disney?
It was a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Standing in the lines for like 3 hours for like a 20-second ride.
Yeah, that was your first time on roller coasters, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. How was it for you?
It wasn't bad. It
Yeah.
was fun.
Well, good. I'm glad you had fun and I'm glad you rode them. I thought we were going to have some people, not want to ride rides at all. So I'm
Yeah.
glad everybody rode the rides. I thought that that was really fun. Moving forward, I'm glad you're here and glad you're training with us. Obviously, Lauren's a very good clinician and she's been teaching you a lot of stuff. And then, for the Fargo camp coming up, you have all of your high school girls that are going there with you. So you have some good training partners coming up too. So I hope you feel prepared and ready to go for that tournament. So what got you started in wrestling?
Growing up, my brother wrestled when he was in first grade. So I was always like at the practices, but when he was in first grade, so I was like 5.
Mm-hmm.
And like his second year wrestling, he wrestled a girl. And my parents decided, they were like, we're never going to let our girls wrestle. Like, it just puts the boys in a tough position. I don't know. I guess I just convinced my dad to
Yeah.
let me wrestle. And
How did you approach him? How old were you?
I was in first grade and I had like the paper and I brought it home and I was like, can I wrestle? And he's like, no. And so I was like, well, Jaden's there every day and I'm there watching him. I might as well just wrestle. And he was like, okay, you can start the season, but you can't quit, as like a way to like make me not do it.
Yeah.
And I just like fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrestling's awesome. I love the things that it teaches you and helps you with in life. And so what are some of the things that wrestling has taught you and helped you with?
That like mindset, like your body's exhausted and you like your brain keeps telling you to quit, but you just keep going, like whether you're like working or like lifting or no matter what you're doing.
I love that. I definitely think wrestling definitely has to be in a mindset as you're doing it the whole time. You have to even constantly think about wrestling when you're not wrestling. You have to think about your weight all the time. You have to think about, how much practice you have to have. Are you ready to compete? And then the night before, you have to get enough sleep to actually compete at a good level. And sometimes your mind is just going crazy and won't shut off, and you're thinking about your bracket and you just looked at it. And so you're freaking out. So I think mindset is very, very important and a very important skill in life too, to learn how to control your mind for sure. So what is one of your favorite memories about wrestling?
State this year, for sure.
Tell me about it.
The day of finals was my birthday.
Okay.
So I was like stressed out to
How old
the
are you?
max. 17.
Okay, well, happy late birthday.
Like going up to it that whole week, I was like freaking out the whole time. It was kind of a big deal to me. I know it was a small state, but it
was a
goal.
big deal. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a big deal. Don't say that it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's a big, huge deal.
I was like kind of stressed out the whole week. So I'd like journal like what I was feeling. And
Okay.
we like went up early and like having girls on the team. I had people to hang out with. We played a lot of cards. It was fun. And then like we actually wrestled and I actually won. And when I got back to the hotel after I won, some of the freshman boys bought me like a bear and then like we had some ice cream and
Yeah.
it was so cool.
Well, that's a great birthday present
It
to
was.
win a state title.
It was.
Have you ever seen anything like that or experienced anything like that before in wrestling?
No. Like I've seen it, but I've never like felt it. You know?
Yeah.
Like the feeling I can't explain, but it was just amazing. It was,
Yeah. That feeling of getting your hand raised, that moment alone, I feel is why people wrestle. Because not a lot of people go through that and get to experience that. And that moment is just crazy. And to be having it at a high school state championship match, that is the most amazing thing. So I'm super proud of you for that. I thought you wrestled great this year. It's fun to watch you. It's fun to coach you, and taking you to these national tournaments this year. I've definitely seen a huge improvement in your performance and you look so good. So keep up the hard work. I'm excited to see you in another state title next year for sure. So thinking about wrestling at a state level compared to a national level, what do you think the difference is there for you physically, mentally, emotionally? Is it different?
Mentally, I try not to think about it. I don't know. I think since I've wrestled for so long, it doesn't really get in my head anymore, but it definitely used to.
Yeah.
I just like slap on my headphones and I'm like, this is your match. It's only 6 minutes. Just go do what you got to do.
Do you have a specific ritual that you have to do
I
before? What is it?
Like way before I just start jamming to music, you know?
What kind? Every kind?
Yeah, every kind.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm like really nervous, like some Miley Cyrus.
Love it. Party in the USA.
If I'm feeling like tired, yeah,
Yeah.
then like Eminem or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Gotta get there somehow. So
yeah,
I love that. So you just listen to music
and
and
like
then,
talk to myself.
okay. Do you allow people to talk to you or do you have to stay in a mindset?
Sometimes they talk to me, and I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, that's so cool, and then walk away. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's how I would have to do it. I would have to like throw my headphones on. Nobody could talk to me and I'd have to listen to angry rap music.
yeah,
So that's the way that I prepared it. I love to hear everybody's ways that they like to warm up because it's a little bit different for everybody and it's just cool to see how they get there, because you have to be in a different mindset to wrestle. You can't just go out there and be sweet and nice to everybody.
for sure. Yeah,
What is your favorite tournament that you've been to so far?
Iowa last year.
Okay.
It was like my first time being with all the girls, and we just like
Was that your first dual team?
besides Colorado Springs.
Okay.
Yeah, I like just being with all the girls and getting hyped together, and
That was a fun team.
it was so fun.
Yeah, we wrestled really good and had a good time last year. That was one that we had one of our duels and we pinned everybody in the duel. I think lasted maybe, I don't know, like 6 minutes, 7 minutes because we just pinned everybody and we were all on a high from that. And it was a really fun tournament. We had a great time that one. That was a fun team to be on for sure.
It was.
Too. So I definitely agree. That's definitely one of my top teams that I've been on that have been the most fun just because of how everybody was engaged with each other. And I mean, we have pictures of each other like off of our feet, screaming at the top of our lungs, like the whole side of the, stands were just going crazy from pins and wins. And yeah, it was a good one for sure.
Definitely made me like fall in love with wrestling because I had a really rough season last year, and then that went well, and I was like, okay, this is good.
Good. Well, I'm glad you could join us and feel the support and love of a dual team. I love dual tournaments now. I will forever take us to dual tournaments moving forward because, yeah, they are a great time.
Yeah.
And individual tournaments are fun too, but, your team isn't always watching you wrestle. They're always kind of doing their own thing. Some of them are mat side watching you, but some of them are, getting ready to wrestle themselves or wrestling at the same time.
Right.
So, yeah, I love that everybody's able to be with each other and watch each other and, go crazy on the sidelines for each other. You said mentally you've grown and developed through wrestling. So how do you mentally prepare?
Just journal. I just like to journal, like how I feel, what my goals are, how I'm going to reach them. And I just like focus on that.
When did you start journaling?
At your camp last year.
Okay. So you've been journaling for about a year and you think it's been helping you a lot?
Yeah. Actually, like before state last year, the coolest thing, like right now my goal is state champ 2023. And then like,
love it.
It like came true. It was crazy.
Yeah. You put it out there, you're manifesting it if you believe in yourself. And they say if you write something down and you have it to look at all the time, then it's more likely to come true because you're seeing it every day and you're reading it every day and it's just there in front of you. And that's, what your brain's focused on. So I love that you are doing that and it's keeping you motivated and, it's keeping you focused. So I love that. Is that a way that you stay motivated? Is there other ways that you stay motivated?
Losing really motivates me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, got second again. Gotta try a lot harder. Oh my gosh.
Are there people that motivate you? Or do you think it's more so yourself?
My mom.
Your mom?
Yeah, because she was really against me wrestling.
Okay.
And then she passed away when I was 7.
Yeah.
So.
That motivates you a lot. Well, I think she'd be very proud of you. You're doing some great things. And I know your dad's very supportive of you too. Got a very supportive system behind you.
I do.
You got some good friends that sit Matt's side and support you. I love that your team got you a teddy bear and that's cute that they did that for you. So I love that you have that motivation and support from teammates and everybody around you. Is there anything that you would like to add or say to any girls that want to start wrestling or are watching this podcast?
If you want to start wrestling, I absolutely love it. It's like my life. So yeah, do it.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Josie. It's been a pleasure to have you on this podcast. I hope you enjoy the rest of camp, and I look forward to coaching you in Fargo. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See you next time.
I can't accept the loss. I'm hard-headed. There's a little bit of madness to my method. Many falling off that fine line that I'm treading. I risk anything to be great, and I'm not letting nobody rob me of my victory. Number one, that's what I'm meant to be. When by any means, only thing that makes sense to me, I can make nice or make history.